we're going to start off with just going through how to log in. This is just going to be a basic reminder of how to use Google Docs and how to use Google Slides. So just the first part will be logging in. I can't log out because I'm broadcasting this straight to YouTube, so I have to be logged in as me. But if you've never logged in or you're not logged in, if you will go to www.google.com, it's going to bring you to this page. And as you can see, Google changed their logo today. It's about driving me crazy because it's not what I'm used to looking at. And right here, there should be a blue box where my face is that says sign in. If you click on that, you can sign in with your Google account. Your Google account is going to be your regular login. So, you know, mine is A Dykes when I'm logging into iNow. My Jeff Coed email is adykes@jeffcoed.com. So it's going to be that, but instead of being at jeffcoed.com, it's going to be different. So I'm going to just type it in this Google bar right here. Man, I was hoping that would stay right there, but it didn't. Here, I'm just going to pop mine down. And as you can see that it's got that at jcboe.k12.al.us after your username. So my username is adykes, but instead of putting at jeffcoed.com, I'm going to put at jcboe.k12.al.us. Then it will prompt you to put in your password. Your password is going to be your exact same password that you use for iNow, for your Jeff Coed email, anything like that. If for some odd reason your password does not work, you can always email me at adykes@jeffcoed.com or at the jcboe.com and or jcboe.k12.al.us. And either way, I can reset your password. So don't stress out if it won't let you in. We can get that fixed pretty quickly. It's an easy fix. So we are going to go ahead. So once you log in, I think if I click add an account, you can see, oh, there it is. That's what it would look like. So I would put in adykes@jcboe.com right there, and I would click next, and I would put in my password, which is the password I use for everything else. And then I would click sign in. I'm going to back out because I've already kind of signed in, and I don't want to confuse it any more than I can. So once you're in, it's going to take you to this page right here. And up here you have mail, and that's where your Gmail is going to be. And I have a lot of people that don't like that you have 2 emails now. But when you start sharing stuff on here, that's the email that's going to get the alert for it. There's images, which is where you can hide your, save images. And then you have right here, you have your menu. And so this is your apps menu. Some people call it the waffle. I had a math teacher tell me it was an array one time. So whatever you want to call it, whatever is an app menu is the real name for it. And so if you click on that app menu, you're going to have different apps that are going to come down. I have a little bit different than yours because I have an administrator account, but everyone else is pretty much going to have Google Search, Google Plus. You can move things around. I don't want to move mine around because I'm used to where everything is. You're going to have Docs right here. And even though we're going to talk about Google Docs, we're not going to click that. We're going to go to this back up here to where our triangle is. And this is your Google Drive. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. If this is your first time to ever use Google Drive, you are probably going to get a prompt, and it's going to take you through different, it's going to take you through, this is where your files are saved. This is where you upload. It's going to take you through kind of a menu. You're probably going to have a big picture right here of a phone and a computer and all this stuff. If you're signed into your Jefferson County account, you will see the Jefferson County logo up here at the top left. So that's one way to know, because a lot of times if we have 2 accounts, like I have my personal account, and I was logged in so I could share something back and forth, testing something out earlier. That's how you kind of know if you're in this one. You've got to be careful to only use if you're going to have student names on there, if you're going to have anything with students or teachers or parents, to only use your Jefferson County Google account. We don't need to be switching back and forth, sharing things back and forth. You know, I get emails sometimes, hey, this student with this number, with their student number, their email's not working. We can't do that because we can't share outside of our domain information about children. So with FERPA laws and different things like that, we need to keep it inside of our @jcboe.k12.al.us account. And I know some of us already had personal accounts set up. Just share those documents with this account and move them on over. And I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. And start using this one, especially if you're going to have students involved. We don't want to break laws or have some kind of breach of privacy because we were doing something different. So this is what it looks like once you start having a lot of folders and stuff. I'm thinking I'm going to need some folders for my folders. You have a menu over here on your left side. Some people yours might look like this. That drives me crazy. So you can have a list view or you can have a thumbnail view. Usually it's going to be last modified at the top. So whatever you were working on last, you can change that till it's name, alphabetical order, whatever you need to do. Sometimes inside of folders, I'll do alphabetical order, but most of the time I keep it where it's last modified. Over here, you're going to have your menu to kind of get started. This first one right here is going to be your, this is new. This is kind of where we get started. So there's two different ways we can add something into Google Drive. We can create a document or create something with the Google app, or we can upload things that are already there. So if you have tons of lesson plans from last 6 years saved onto your computer, you can actually go in here and upload them here, and you can access them from anywhere. And it doesn't matter that it's a Word document or if it's an Excel document or a PowerPoint, you can still put it in here. You don't have to make it converted over to Google Docs if you don't want to. I have a couple of people that will ask that question, but no, it doesn't have to convert over. It can just be a place to store stuff. You can store pictures, you can store videos. I was sharing a video with somebody earlier, and that was how I shared it because it shares a lot easier in here than it does through an email. So if you want, so let's start with uploading files we already have. Because it is a Google for Education account, you have unlimited amount of space, so you can never run out of space. Also know that we don't save this on our servers, it's saved onto Google's servers. So you don't have to ever worry about, like we had the S drive that time that crashed and everybody lost everything. We won't do that anymore because if Google loses everything, it's probably a terrorism issue and we're going to have a lot of other problems. But you can come right here, it says file upload or folder upload. With folder upload, you can go and upload an entire folder. So if I went to my name and my documents folder, I can actually upload my entire documents folder. I can upload, I've got things in here from 100 years ago. So this is back when I taught science. I could upload that entire folder right here. And as you see, it's going to upload it and it's going to put it right into my Google Drive. You can do the same thing with just one file. I'm just going to do a file upload. I can go in here. I can find any, it doesn't matter what kind of file it is. I've yet to find somebody that had a certain file that wouldn't go in here. I'm going to say that links won't do it, but other than that, I have yet, like I said, I've yet to have something that wouldn't go in there. So I can go in here and I can actually, I got screen captures, I got everything. I can just say, okay, here's a picture. I'm going to stick it in there. And as you can see, it's being uploaded down here at the bottom. This folder, if I click on it, it's going to have everything that was in that folder before. So all those benchmark tests that I had, for these are probably not something that are used anymore, but from back in 2011, these were the different benchmark tests. If you see this W right here, that tells me that it's a Word document. So I can open it like this. And this is still it as a Word document. And I can open with Google Docs. When I do that, it might change the formatting some. Or I can just, if I was on another computer that didn't have this file on it, I can just download it. That's the thing, that's the beauty of this drive, is that it goes with you everywhere. It's like a USB drive that you use to put files on, but as long as you have the internet, you actually have access to it. I even have a Google Drive app on my phone, so if I am at some random school and I don't have my computer with me, but I have my phone with me, I can still access everything that's in my Google Drive. Like I said, if you can convert it over to a Google Doc, so if I click on this, it will convert over slowly but surely. And once it converts over here, I can actually edit it. And so I can edit it from anywhere. If I opened it up on my phone, I could edit on my phone while I'm sitting in my kids' dance class. So I can't close this because I've got a little, this to go away. Let's see if I can make this move. I have, sorry, on my end, I have a toolbar that's up there and I can't make it go away. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. See if I can make it smaller. And so we have, so there it is. Now I've got 2 copies of it. I've got the Word copy and I've actually got that Google Doc copy. I'm going to go back to my drive. The picture that I uploaded earlier, there it is right there. I can look at it. I can download it from anywhere I'm at. So this is a good way to transfer your pictures. I'll tell you, when I got a new phone, I uploaded all of my pictures into a folder and then took it to my computer, downloaded them back, and then just deleted them off. And that was a good way for me to transfer stuff. It's a good way to transfer stuff when you don't have a place to put a USB drive in. All right, so that's how to upload things that are already made on your computer, a file you already have. The other way you can put stuff in here is to actually create it in here. And you can create, we can click New, it'll give you a couple of different options. Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, Forms, Drawings, those 5 will automatically be on there. The others I have added where I want to connect more apps. And there is an app store that's free. You can go and look for different apps that will connect with your Google Drive. So I'm going to go on here and I'm going to click Google Docs. And so now we are in the new document, and that's kind of where we're going to focus today, or is in Google Docs. It looks kind of like a dumbed down version of Word. So I'm just going to kind of go through the different ways, the different parts of it. The first thing is where it says Untitled Document. In Word, if you want to change the name of a document, you've got to go through the whole Save As and go through all of that. With this, I can just go in here and I can rename it to Webinar 92. Maybe I should spell webinar correctly. And so now it's renamed. There's nothing else I have to do about it. If I click back over here to Google Drive, scroll down, you're going to see that Webinar 92. It's already saved in my Google Drive and it's already named correctly. There is no saving. If I write in here and I type hello, you're going to see right here it says saving, and it says all changes saved in Drive. So it's that simple to save things. There goes saving again. All changes saved in Drive. If I went back over here and I clicked on that webinar and I opened it again, it's already got it saved. So and it says that I'm in there. So it saves it immediately. So let's kind of go through the different things that are a little bit different than in Word. File, same thing. Make a copy would be kind of how you do Save As. If somebody sends you a form or a worksheet or something, and you want to put your own information on it, if they sent you a letter and you want to put your name on it, if you make a copy, it makes a copy identical to what you already have, but this one you can edit and it won't mess up the original. You can move it to a folder. We have Download As, so if you did type it in here but you needed a Word document, you can download it as a Word document. So just like before where we saw it started as a Word document and then switched over to a Google Doc, this is the opposite. It goes from Google Doc to Word document. Be careful if you have some kind of funky margins, things like that. That might be it might throw it off a little bit, but it usually converts pretty well. You can also download it as a PDF, and there's other different types of text. Are you recording this? Yes, it is. Will be, well, I guess I don't have to type this because you can hear me. Yes, I am recording it. It'll be on that YouTube link that was on the that website. It'll also be actually, let's see if I can move. Here's my problem is that I got a toolbar. If you go, see it says youtube.com. I'll put this up there. It'll also be on this playlist once it finishes. And then they can get it at any time. There's that link. So YouTube/users/JeffCoEdTech, and it'll be a playlist. It'll be on that playlist. It says Google Apps for Education. I'll make sure it goes there. as well. Okay, so we have our file. This is also where you print, and this will send it to the printer. Copy and paste, that's the same. View, this is just kind of how your format is with your toolbars and different things like that. So here's some things that are a little bit different than with Word is the insert. One of the things is insert image. I have a lot of people that will ask me, hey, do you have clip art on here? It doesn't really have clip art on here. It has, because it's Google. So you can actually go in here and just click search. They have stock images. It has Google, it has live images. As you notice right here, it says results shown are labeled for commercial reuse with modification. So these are things that you can actually use and not have to worry about having permission, breaking copyright laws. They've got it set up perfect so you don't have to worry about that. So if I went in here and I put dog, it comes up. Dogs, you can actually do it by color. If I wanted a black dog, I can click on there. So if I was looking for a lab, I would do that and I could click on it. It gives you the link of where it came from so you can cite your source. And I'm just going to click on this and I'm going to select. And it puts the cute little dog into my, my document that quick. So those are in there. That's also, if you went back to, if I went back to search, that's where your stock images are going to be as well. And those are the ones that are going to look a little bit more clip arty. You also have insert a link. If I wanted to insert a link here, usually if you're inserting a link somewhere, you've got to go search for it on the internet, copy, paste it in, highlight the text, all that stuff. With this, you can actually search for it if you don't know exactly. Since there's like 2 teachers in here from McAdory High School, I'm going to put in McAdory High School. And so there is actually the link to it, and I can click on there, and then I can click apply, and you see that it puts it straight into my document, and this link right here will take you to Debbie's beautiful website, as you can see. And there you go. So that's to me, I think that's a lot simpler than having to copy and paste and highlight and all that stuff. Other things you can insert, there is an equation editor. This is going to allow you to do those math things like division and greater than, less than. You've got your fractions right here. A lot of teachers have problems getting all that stuff in there. They don't want to use Google Docs because it won't put all those things in there, but actually it will. So that would be where you would get all those, was your equation editor. And you can close it back if you want to, and will allow you to put that in there. You also have a drawings. This is where you're going to get your word art, different, you can do a text box. Here's your actions. You got word art in there. So if you wanted to do some fancy words, that's where you would do that. You would put it in here. As you can see, it's got that checkerboard background, which means that it is a transparent, and so when you stick it in there, it won't have like a colored background or anything like that. There you go, stick it in there. And so those are just different things that are in there. It has footnote in there. It has comments. I'm going to go back to comments later. It has tables just like normal. It has your page number that you can stick in there. It has your page count, your header, footer, middle bookmark, and even has a page break. So those are your basic word skills that are in there. You also have your format. This is where you do your line spacing and your font format. There are some tools in here that are a little different. You have your spell check, of course, your word count, your define if you have a word. There's also a research button, which I have been using a lot lately when I'm writing papers and stuff. And I love that it actually will cite your sources as well. My publisher's really loving that right now. But you can come over here, and as you can see, I'm like if I'm searching for something, I can search for images. Let's say I am going back and looking for dogs. I can put in that dog again. And it's going to give me a picture as well. It's going to open it up to where that picture came from, or I can tell it to Hold on, somebody came in my office. Oh, okay. I'll give that to you as soon as I can.
Okay, I'll go Tracy because I gotta have it like this instant.
Like this instant. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, so I have pictures, but you can do everything. So if I click on dog here, I can say, oh, well, here's information for Wikipedia. I can actually cite the source in there. You see how it did the little one thing? I can actually insert the link in there if I wanted to. I can preview it and I can see what's on that website as well. You can look through actual Scholar, Google Scholar, which kind of takes you to, you can cite it as footnotes. You can actually open up that PDF as well and go to it and find out where it's at. So this is really a cool thing. You can look in dictionary as well. Other things that are in here, if I go to insert, and there's a translate document. So if I went in here and let's say that I am going to put all this, I'm just going to copy and paste this. I'm totally breaking copyright laws, but I want to give you an example. So I have this on here. I can actually go in here and say, okay, tools, translate document, and it's going to make a translated copy into, let's see, let's do something fun. Let's go to Dutch, just because I have no idea what that is, like any words in Dutch, and we can look at it. And there's our translated copy. If I scroll down, you're going to see that all those words are translated into Dutch. I have no idea what that says, but apparently it's going to say the same thing as here. It's not 100% perfect, but it gets the job done. Here we go. That 2 pages were driving me crazy. Other tools we have in here, you have a table. You can do a table just like normal. You can't do a table inside of a table, I found out this week, which is kind of a pain. So your fonts, you can go in here. They have tons of fonts. One of the great things about Google Fonts is that they translate anywhere you go. So if you've ever done a PowerPoint somewhere and you open it up other places and the font's gone or everything's kind of messed up. If I did salsa font here and I opened it up on my phone, if I opened it up on your computer, it's still going to have the salsa font and it translates. And I think there's, I forgot how many, I read the other day how many fonts there are. It's a ridiculous amount. And if you go in here, it just goes for days and days and days and days and days. As you can see, I don't even have near all of them, and I have a lot of fonts already saved. So you can go in there and search for fonts. These are all HTML5 fonts, so they translate anywhere onto websites and different things like that. So the other things that are really cool about these Google Docs is the sharing and the collaborating capability. If I click on here to share, things are going to get a little bit different than before. I'm going to, let's see, pull y'all back up here. So if I click on here, we get this little box, but I can click advanced and I get a link here. And I'm going to share it with you guys that are on link. I'm going to share the link with link. So I'm going to share it with you guys. Right now it says private only, I can access. I can say, well, actually, we'll do it. Anyone with the link can view. Anyone with the link can edit. So I can change that, and I can save it. I can put in names. So I can send this to Debbie, who's in here. I can send it to Debbie Barnett, and she can edit it. I can also send it to a whole group. So if I wanted to send it to all my tech reps, I can send it to that entire group. And you can send it to your, you have your school groups that are at jeffcoed.com. But you can actually, if you have to put in at jcboe.k12.al.us, but it's the same one, just like as I used McElroy earlier. It's the same, it just has the different ending on it. But you can send it to those whole groups of people. I'm not going to send it because they'll wonder why they got an email from it. And they can actually notify these people by email, and you can send it. So you actually have different people who can change, but I also have it with the link. So if you're in link and you want to click that link, you could actually join this document. And so once those people are in and they can share, Anybody can edit if I've got it on edit at the same time. So we can see Pam's in, and you can see actually where Pam's cursor is. So if she started typing, Pam, will you type? That's fine, just type those. So as you can see, she's typing. This is where I am. So you can see her pink little kind of flag thing that's up, and you can actually see where she's typing. And so you wouldn't want 100 people in there at the same time. If you're doing this with students, you wouldn't want them all to be typing at one time, but this is really good if they're doing their homework at different times and they're all working in one document. This is a good thing. So once you share it with people, there's other things you can do. You can actually make comments. So if I wanted to make a comment in here, I can go over here and say, okay, insert comment. Great sentence. Okay, and I can comment, and everybody that's in this document will see this pop up. And so they can go in there. If I was telling them to change something, there's no capital. I don't like how you worded this, or maybe you could do say this in a better way. You can put this over here, and then when the student fixes it, they can either come and make a comment about it, or they can click resolve and it'll go away. It still stays up here, so you can go back and double check to make sure it was really done and what you went through and did this. But it's so much better than a red pen marking through and printing out those sheets of paper. You can just do this from your phone. You can do it from your iPad. You can do it from your computer. You don't have to worry about printing and all that information. Excuse me. So there's comments. There is a chat box here too. So everybody that was in there, I can just chat and we could have a conversation going over kind of in the side. There's even little smiley faces if you want to add a smiley face. And you can all have a conversation with each other about what you're doing over here. I'm trying to think. Let's see. If you have a bunch of people in here, more than likely somebody's going to accidentally backspace and delete everything. If that happens, you have the See Revision History. If I click on that, we can see that Amanda Dykes is the one that deleted this. If you teach middle schoolers, it's always nice to go and see who put the inappropriate words in there. If you have that kid who says, oh, I worked all night on this and it just disappeared, you can actually go in and see what they've been up to. See where it's pink, that's where Pam wrote. Where it's green, that's where I wrote. So that even color codes it so you can actually tell what happened there. And you can actually go over here and say, okay, I want to go back to this. And I can click on this that says restore this revision, and now everything's back. And so if somebody accidentally deletes it all, that's how we can get it back. So those are kind of your share features that make this a little bit more powerful than a regular document. I'm going to close this chat box. Another thing they have is called an add-on. I have a bunch on here that are already added, but if you can go over here to get add-ons, you can actually get more add-ons. And so you can go on here and say, okay, I need a thesaurus. GMath is really cool. It lets you do a couple of different graphs. It also lets you write. So that's kind of a good way to use it. I have seen a lot of people using it to write. There's template gallery. This has got calendars. It's got lesson plan templates. There's speech recognition, so you can actually talk. So you can actually talk into the documents, and it actually types it out for you. So if you have students with special needs, students that have really hard time with typing, if you have younger students, this is a good way to get their information out as well. So you can scroll down here. There's tons of them on there. I'll show you a couple of my favorites real quick. There is EasyBib. EasyBib's pretty great. You can go on here and actually put in a book. Since I got a dog on here, I'll put Red Fern. And I can actually put, if it's at the end of my book, at the end of my paper, I can say select, and I can actually add the bibliography to my document. A lot of teachers push back on that because it's not always perfect, but if that's what it takes to get the kids to do a bibliography, that's fantastic to me. Elementary school teachers love that there's a label maker that you can print off labels. There's the speech recognition. Spellwrite is really awesome if you have students who are ELL, who are ESL, because it is a spell check that looks for that ESL, looks for syntax, looks for the misspellings, using the wrong word, things like that. There's my template gallery that lets you go in there and look for different templates. URL shortener, you saw that link that I sent you was really long. This will actually say, okay, get document link, and it'll give me a smaller link to send out. So it's not 300 characters long, and you can just copy and paste that. So that's kind of a good one as well. Doc2Form, I mean, there's a bunch of different ones. Doc2Form, if you're starting to feel comfortable with using Google Docs and you want to make a form, but you already have a survey or something typed up, or a test typed up in a document, in a Word document or something like that, you can actually do this, and it'll actually convert it over to a Google form. And we'll do a webinar on a Google form in a few weeks, for sure. So that's pretty much in a nutshell, as fast as I could in 30 minutes. Google Docs. I said I would look at Google Slides. I'll kind of show you real quick. Google Slides is pretty simple. It looks like PowerPoint. It acts like PowerPoint. The only thing that it will not do that PowerPoint will do is it will not play music in the background as you scroll, as you go through the slideshow. It does not have add-ons. That's the one thing that it does have different. But pretty much you can it works just like Word. You insert image. You can actually insert a video. It's usually from, it's got to be from YouTube, which can be a downer. But if you're showing it to the class, since teachers can get on YouTube, that helps. You add new slides, pretty simple. You can change your theme up. I always like dark themes. And as you can see, it's pretty simple to use. You can still make comments. I was at a classroom last week, and the teacher is a AAA teacher, which is high school students who are have special needs, and her kids had all made hundreds of these slideshows to show their information instead of doing a test, instead of doing papers. And it was really cool how they put their pictures in there, and they described, I think they did idioms, and so they had their idiom, and they had a picture that would describe it, like when pigs fly, I had a flying pig, and things like that. And they did a really good job with it. And then when you present it, it's pretty simple to present. And you can present these on your phone even. I was at one school the other day, and they were talking about how the kids had all done it on their phone, which was really cool. So it's really great for BYOD and kids that, don't have computers. We have now kind of leveled the bar, because most of them do have a smartphone, or they can at least get on Wi-Fi with a smartphone. So, that, to me, I think that's a huge thing, because it used to be if you ever sent home PowerPoints for kids to do, only the kids who had, from a higher income could do them. And so now this is kind of where everybody can, as long as they have some kind of device, they can actually do this from an app. So, so those are your Google Drive and Google Docs. Google Docs, Google Slides. Do y'all have any questions? Anybody? I can unmute y'all, or y'all can type them in. See if anybody's got any questions on the Google Hangout. I don't see anything over there. So are we good? All right. If y'all's stuff doesn't work, if your passwords don't work, anything like that, please feel free to email me at any time. I can fix that very quick. I can fix it from my phone anywhere. So that's not a big deal. And we'll reset you and get you all situated. So some of the things you need to play with, this is going to be on YouTube, on that YouTube channel, youtube.com/users/JeffcoEdTech, and it'll be under the playlist. So, all right, y'all have a good afternoon. Happy Wednesday.